फोटो खींचा दी मुझे मोबाइल के नीचे इसमें
Okay. Well, first of all, welcome to our factory, to the Sun Garments. Good afternoon. Now, initially, I would like to describe to you the making of brilliant cut. I would like to explain the steps of the polishing of the brilliant. This is the brilliant. That would be the most common shape on the market, round with 57 facets. Now, we import rough diamonds, starting from various countries, mainly from Russia and South Africa. We import the diamonds here. We have the polishers. They will shape the various diamonds, and then we have goldsmiths as well, designers and goldsmiths to assemble the complete jewel. So we do everything here in the building, in the house. Now, one of the best qualities comes from Russia, from Siberia, Canada, also some of the best quality in the world. Australia produces pinkish diamonds. The pink ones come from Australia, and South Africa produces the biggest amount in the world. Now, the diamonds are found in many shapes. Carbon, diamonds are made of carbon. Percentage-wise, they're made of 99% carbon. And when they crystallize, they will crystallize in different shapes. So there's not only one, but there is many. But the most common one is this one here. This is an octahedron. It's got 8 sides. Double pyramids, they're called. Obviously not this size, a lot smaller, but precise like the model that I'm showing you. Now, the first stage, the first step, the first operation is to cut the diamond in half. The rough diamond needs to be separated in half to begin with. Now, this is always done because the polisher, as he cuts the diamond, he tries to improve the quality. Now, diamonds have defects inside. Most of the time they have black spots and fractures. So what the polisher does initially is try to remove those areas, the worst areas, and only keeps the nicest, clearest parts. So the process is done with this tool in front of you. It's a small disc. It's a bronze phosphorus disc. The disc spins at 4,000 rotations per minute. Now, obviously, the metal, it's not going to be the metal that will cut the diamond. It doesn't have the same strength, the same hardness. Not even the stainless steel has the same hardness. So what we need to do is to apply olive oil and diamond dust on all the wheels, on all the metal that we have in the house. Okay? And even then, it's going to take long, about 24 hours to cut 1 carat, 1 carat size. If this was a real one, if this was real, this would weigh 500 carats. But 1 carat, 24 hours. Once we have the 2 sections, once we're left with the 2 halves. Now, the second stage at this point is rounding. We need to round them off. Get rid of the points and the angles. So the way this is done is always with the help of another diamond. There's a rounding machine, which is the one underneath the screen right now. It is not working, it's not in motion, but what the machine does is simple. It only makes the diamond turn to make the diamond rotate. And as it spins, the polisher is going to use another diamond to add pressure to the points and edges. He files the edges down. Eventually, he will end up with a rounded shape after a few hours. It depends on the size. But for 1 carat, more or less, it's required about 4 to 5 hours, and we go from square to round. You lose a lot of weight as well. You lose about 25% of the weight. Whenever we lose weight, we collect the weight. We don't throw it, and nothing is thrown away. The weight we lose is needed, is used again to cut more diamonds. It's only used for the tools and the polishing needs. Now, at this point, once the diamond is well rounded, there is one final thing to do, the last step, which is making the facets. That's the only thing missing now. Now, the polishers are actually working on facets right now. The polisher behind me, he's working on the final step of the process, and he's using this tool to make the facets. Diamonds are placed on the edge here. On the tip, you have many adjustments and many settings, so these tools are very precise. What he does is that he applies pressure on the wheel. He needs to apply the correct amount of pressure to make the facets properly. So this is how it begins. It always begins with the central facet. The central facet is called the table. The table is the square in the middle, the biggest one. It's always the first one. And as soon as the table is in the proper place, they will make the other 4 facets. So we have 5 for now. This is called the crosscut. 5 facets on top. The upper part is called the crown. And then we have the pavilion that has only 4 on the backside. So 5 on top and 4 on the backside. And at every stage, at every step of the way, they will double the amount of facets. So the next stage will have another 4. And they will place these 4, 1 on each corner of the square. So plus 4, from 5 to 9. Makes sense, right? From 5 to 9 facets. Plus 4, and plus 4. From 4 to 8. Twice as many. 4 to 9. 9 facets. Plus 4, and plus 4. 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 Plus 4 have 17 facets in total, 9 and 8, 17. And these brilliants at 17 facets are called single cuts. This brilliant is finished, and it's used in jewelry. It's done in very small sizes, extremely small sizes, less than 1/100th of a carat in size. Just to give you an idea, it's just as big as a grain of sugar. So you can only fit so many facets on those sizes. You can't fit more than 17, maximum 17. But whenever they're working on slightly bigger garments, the facets will increase because the complete one has many more. If you take a look at the complete cut, it has 33 facets on top, 33 just on the upper part, and the difference on the back, 24 facets on the pavilion, for a total of 57 facets. That is the standard amount of facets for a brilliant. No matter what size it's in, small or big, it's always going to be 57, starting on 1/100th of a carat, which is very, very small. I will show you the examples in the room, and you will have an understanding of the different sizes when you see them. Okay, have you got any questions for now, for the time being? No, if you don't, please look around this area for a couple of minutes. Our polishers are working. Assemble the jewels in the 2 rooms, the vitrines, and then I will take everybody with me, and I will show you all the rest inside the showroom.